Oh, okay.
Um,
I think we should do a
so
show. Probably.
yes, we should do a
Should
show.
we?
Probably not, but we're gonna do it anyway, and Dredd will have to deal with the fallout of that. It's his website and his YouTube channel. So
Uh, for now, anyway. I'm plotting.
I will not stand behind you on this.
That's
I will be waiting to stab you in the back after you two fight to the death.
that's fine. All that stand in front of me will be swept aside by my great power.
I'm just gonna take over and then immediately close the site.
Or you could name it Zaz Stadium.
No,
You
I'm just
probably have
that's
fun with that for a month.
that sounds like work.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 139 of the Side Talk podcast. I am your host, Knuckles87, and with me today is our big, beautiful Shigs guy,
Hey, I'm both big and beautiful, apparently.
and also GX.
I have
And old.
played the Minecraft.
Yes, but can you take anyone's mind?
Well, I've only played single player, so I don't think technically I can.
You should be a griefer. Like that was one of the first videos I ever watched
Please,
on
they ca-
Minecraft.
they don't call them griefers. They're called creepers, I believe. I'm hip with the kids. I know all the lingo. You're being very cringe right now.
I mean, to be fair, I think that I watched that video like 8 years ago. Um, in any case, yes. So GX has been playing lots and lots of Minecraft and finally getting into it, which again, I'm shocked he didn't do that earlier because it's like Legos except video games.
I
And
I'll talk about
Shigs
it in a
has been
bit.
doing like Shigs has been doing like old person game stuff, which is I shouldn't be talking because I'm also a retro gamer. But speaking of old games,
Not as old as
so
the
I
ones I've been playing.
So
I've
you've
not
been
been playing.
playing the game that they are remastering, but you're not playing the remaster for some reason.
Well, the remaster isn't out yet, unless you mean Anniversary,
Yeah, it seems
which technically
yeah,
I am playing Anniversary.
it seems weird that it's like, oh, they announced a remastered version of this game. I'm going to play the original version of this game.
Well, it's like everyone's talking about a Halo CE and how great it is and how bad this new one looks, even though it looks perfectly fine, and why sprinting is bad, even though sprinting will frankly add an interesting new dynamic to this game and probably be the only thing that makes this worth playing, aside from the visuals. It's like remaking Halo CE again is probably the most boring thing Microsoft could do with this franchise. It's like if Sega had remade Sonic 1 like 15 years ago with brand new visuals.
They
But then
did.
but then
They did.
like
It was the retro engine version. It's a very good version. It has
okay, no,
Tails and Knuckles in it.
that is still basically the original game in terms of visuals. Like Halo Anniversary was brand new visuals built over the old game. So like, there was still that. But now it's like, okay, and now like 15 years later, they're doing that, but again, and this time like they seem to like actually be rebuilding it from the ground up because like they removed a tree from Silent Cartographer that kept you from taking the Jeep into the first hunter encounter area. Um, which, like I'm not sure how I feel about that, but hunters are like so easy to beat in this once you understand that you can just shoot them in the back with a pistol once to kill them, that I'm not sure if it really matters that much. But regardless, yes, I've played a lot of Halo 1, the original visuals, but on Master Chief Collection, so I could play with the newer visuals if I wanted to. I am choosing not to. which is something a lot of Halo fans could probably learn from, because so many of them are complaining about Sprint, which, by the way, is a feature that you can turn off if you don't want to use it. They specifically made that toggleable for people like this. Okay, but anyway. But like so yeah, I've been playing lots of Halo again. Like I've played this game so many times since 2002, when I like busted out Silent Cartographer on a demo disc. Was like, oh my god, I usually don't want to play violent games, but this game, this is so cool.
But then
Like
you got your
it
first
starts
taste
with
of blood.
I got my first taste of alien blood, yes. And my mom was like, well, you're not killing cops, you're killing aliens. So sure, we'll get you that.
You're
And I was
only
playing like
propping up
Grand
a
Theft Auto a few years
a
later.
fascist society.
I mean, to be fair, that was not made explicit in Halo in the game. Like that was stuff that they added in the
If it
books
hasn't
later
made
to make the universe
if it wasn't
interesting.
made explicit in the game, like GameStop has sure made it explicit in the last week.
Oh, you're talking about the MAGA stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Like there is actually like
Yeesh.
there is actually like a decaying democracy in the during over the course of the Covenant War in the books, but that's a different conversation. But anyway, so like and frankly, like this is a game that does still hold up pretty decently. Like what Halo really mastered was just the sandbox element. And this is frankly something it did better than Halo 2. Like Halo 2 is a very pretty game, does lots of cool things, but it's also a very narrow game. Like it is a game that sacrificed scale for visuals. Um, but with Halo CE, you are constantly presented with all these battle sandboxes that where you can like strategize and approach it from multiple angles. And that's something that really helps with both the replay value and with helping it just remain fun even today. And I really do just kind of wish people would like look at the remake that you're doing as something new, something different. Like, yes, it's not going to be a one-to-one high definition recreation of the original game. I don't even know why you would want that when the original game is widely available across like PC and Xbox and probably eventually PlayStation. Um, it's not like we're like struggling to play this game. So let's just let them do some new things with the classic and we'll see how it pans out. um
Look, right now Microsoft's not in a great position of like if you could tell me what their actual corporate strategy is, I would love to know because I have
their
no
their
idea.
corporate strategy is
Everything's an Xbox.
their corporate strategy is the Microsoft CEO Nadella wants to make a lot of money off of Xbox and have everything be a big profit margin,
They what
and he doesn't care what they have to do to get there.
they're citing like 30% profitability out of this company. They
which
have
is
never
which is
made 30%
wild.
it has never done 30% profitability. That's insane. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. And like this is how we know that the next Xbox was like gonna be like a high-end console PC hybrid, which sounds
This
cool.
is how we know that
Um,
Nadella never at any
that's gonna
point
be
paid attention to the Xbox
yeah.
division until they bought Activision.
Yes, that is basically what happened as near as I can tell. Now it's like, well, we're paying attention to you now, and want you to make money. And my God, that next Xbox, that's gonna be like $2,000. I
It's
guarantee
like
it.
Xbox. It's like the Xbox and the OneDrive divisions were completely ignored. It's like, yeah, they're just line items on here, but like, how's our enterprise level software doing? How is how are our government contracts doing? It's like then he had to go in front of Congress like what twice, and then suddenly, hey, Xbox needs to be the more profitable than it has ever been in order to somehow justify everything.
But
Well,
in
he's
any
got to
case,
profits from last year. Gotta keep the stockholders happy.
Line goes up.
I'm at least glad to see Halo doing something again because it has been so long since
So
Infinite at
basically,
this point.
it sounds
But
like
this
it's
is
going
the
to
most boring thing
be
they
a
could do.
console Xbox Rogue Ally. Where it's just a PC thing. It's not a real console, but
Well, no, it's still going to have console stuff. Like it's going to have compatibility with the entire Xbox ecosystem. It's just also going to
Wait,
be able
what?
to.
Hold on. The ROG Ally is?
Not the ROG Ally, the next Xbox
Oh,
console.
okay. I was confused there for a second.
Yeah, because I do not consider the ROG Ally a real Xbox. If I have digital games
Yeah, it's a
on my
PC.
Xbox and I can't play them, yeah, it's just a PC.
It's a PC with
They
Xbox
slap the
branding.
Xbox name on
I
it.
find it interesting that like through you, I heard like some really horrible things about the ROG Ally, but then like through social media, I'm hearing all these really impressive things about the ROG Ally. But it's like I don't know. I have my Steam Deck. I'm happy with it.
The problem is the things that I have largely heard have everything to do with it just breaking. Like getting trapped in update loops, getting into weird shutdown issues, not being able to bring up the keyboard in order to actually log in. Like it doesn't it doesn't entirely sound like it's a bad device, but it sounds like Microsoft completely effed up like the compatibility layers for it.
It sounds like just Windows can glitch out for people, I guess.
Yeah.
But in any case,
keep in mind,
been playing Halo, don't have much else to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's running on their new updated Windows layer that was specifically designed for gaming, and it just sounds like it's miserable that it doesn't really work well for gaming, and that effectively a lot of the time within Steam Deck, you can stay in the game view layer, and there's really not a lot of reason to jump into the Linux layer unless you're like doing funky stuff and installing things manually. But it sounds like it's hard to accomplish a lot on the ROG Ally without jumping back to the Windows layer.
Just playing more of Halo. Like it's just I don't know. I admit I do appreciate the atmosphere, but
it's Halo. It's Halo.
Yeah.
You've played Halo before, but you like Halo.
Yeah. So Shigs,
pretty much.
You went to the Retro Game Expo.
Portland Retro Gaming Expo, to be exact, and that's one of the biggest in the United States. And I met more of my kin, which is basically a bunch of middle-aged men reminiscing about really old video games and buying 2600 and a television homebrew carts and such.
Yes, sir. I am part of the ColecoVision support group.
I do have a ColecoVision I got like 2 years ago, though. I'll admit that.
There's a support group for you that I've invented.
I had one, but it broke.
You're free.
Anyway, this is a decent year. I mean, they have Charles Martinet. They had the guy behind the Banjo-Kazooie music.
Hercope?
Yeah. Let's see. Gary Kitchen and David Crane from the old Activision were there selling off their new games they do now. They do Audacity games, and so I got 2 of them from them. So if you don't know who David Crane is, he was the creator of Pitfall and Kaboom and several other classic 2600 titles. Gary Kitchen did Keystone Capers along with several other games. He did the port of the Coleco Donkey Kong onto the 2600, which was not great, but he did the best with what he had.
Oh yeah, those development stories are all like they gave us 2 weeks to accomplish something, and there are a lot of circumstances where it's like they were specifically motivated to make one version worse than another version, even if they were making Even if they were publishing it on multiple systems to kind of highlight, well, one system's better than the other system. It's a nightmare time.
If you interview them, they say that's not really true. That was just the limitations of that system. But I forgot what else I was going to talk about. They had different exhibits. Instead, they have this typical Nintendo Power art exhibit, which they've had previous years. But this year, they had a huge lineup of every single boxed NES game that came out in the U.S. in chronological order. You can see every single box, every single NES game. That was pretty neat. And for the most part, though, I just bought a bunch of Atari Homebrew or some new Atari games. They had the biggest booth. They had a guy in a Bubsy suit.
Oh no!
And they are showing off the Intellivision Swift. I think it's called. Sprint.
Yep.
The Intellivision Sprint, which is basically, I'm not that big of a fan of it. It's basically a plug and play. It's got a huge catalog of Intellivision games, and I guess they have a SD card slot so you can add your own, games and everything. But I was hoping for something similar to the Atari 2600 Plus, where you could just plug it in and have HDMI and just buy your own carts separately.
I figured it's just a micro console, so I'm not surprised.
I'm just impressed that it's been about a year since they purchased the Intellivision brand from Amico, and yet they have been able to release this admittedly small but generally functional console in that amount of time, whereas the Amigo has continued to be nothing but a boondoggle.
Yeah,
but they are apparently still manufacturing it.
Sure they are.
Yeah, sure they are. They're saying they're in the phases of manufacturing. I did get an early copy of Pac-Man Double Feature, which comes with their upcoming Pac-Man 2600 Plus. This is the exclusive Portland Retro Gaming Expo version, which comes in a blue foil casing and a blue cartridge, along with an extra patch and pin the pin was not in the San Diego Comic-Con version. So there's that. Several different, like an arcade port. They have a 7800 Mousetrap, which is arcade perfect. Champ Games, who does amazing work on the 2600. I got Zookeeper from them. That's an arcade classic. But Champ Games uses the chips they used for Pitfall 2 to get like this perfect sound and this really good graphic style that they can't normally get out of a 2600. It looks more like almost 7800, or definitely better than 5200 graphics on them. It's pretty impressive. My favorite game at the show that I purchased was the very Halloweenish Tober's Nightmare, which was an original game that you can pick up from Atari Age. And basically, for that one, that's the last game I'm going to talk about. You live in a little house on the top of the screen. At the bottom of the screen is a little pumpkin patch that, for some reason, the Spectre takes care of. He waters the plants for you, and they grow up and become jack-o'-lanterns. And then in the middle of the screen, your field is a bunch of monsters. First, it's like zombies, and it's like ghosts and witches and alien plants and skulls and what have you. And basically, you have to hurry that up and get all the way down to the into the pumpkin patch, grab the pumpkins, throw them at the monsters before they shoot down at you, and clear that field and go back. Hurry up and go back up before this plant monster eats you. And then eventually you get extra power-ups like candy corn, which gives you extra points. This one that allows for you to warp to the pumpkin patch with an extra jack-o'-lantern to hold to toss at. And it's actually a surprising amount of fun. I really enjoy that one. I love the Halloween theme it's got going with it too. But yeah, for a classic retro game, I really enjoyed it. I'm just somebody who, grew up on those kind of games, and it's a different kind of environment because, unlike modern games where they expect you to tune in daily to get the bonuses, like something like Fortnite or Disney Speedstorm, or games that want you to have a gameplay experience that's 10 to 80 hours. These are kind of, like bite-sized, entertainment where you play for 5 to 10 minutes, enjoy yourself, get off of it, and then maybe play it later on. So you could just get on with it, life. And for someone with kind of a short attention span, that hits for me. I enjoy that.
You have never said something quite as I am an old man as attempting to explain retail purchase games within the context of service games.
Yeah, all these darn games nowadays, always expecting to take your money every week and taking hundreds of hours to complete. I just want to play
Grandpa,
for 10 minutes, gosh darn it.
Let's get you back to bed.
Knuckles just was talking about Halo, which is a retail game. You don't have to go as far back as 2600 Homebrew to find retail games.
Right. Okay, and that's pretty much it for me. I did check out the Vectrex Mini, which they're doing a Kickstarter for next month. I know Knuckles, when he had me purchase his to pick up later at his house, I spent like 2 weeks with that. I absolutely loved the Vectrex. So
yeah, that thing aged very well.
I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, because those vector-based graphics do age well, and
so nothing to say. Nothing to say on Legend ZA.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I almost forgot about that too. So yeah, I picked up Legend ZA. Pokemon Scarlet did not really impress me. I mean, either graphically or gameplay wise. I was never really that much into Pokemon outside of the spin-offs usually. And once again, this is kind of a spin-off, even though it's a more traditional Pokemon game. I mean, you're dealing with
it's real-time combat. I don't know if you can call it a traditional Pokemon game.
Yeah, I mean, now we're dealing with real-time combat. It's got a new gameplay style that hasn't been done before, but I am really enjoying it so far. I'm only about 4 hours in. I will say it's just like the last one. As soon as you get into town, somebody befriends you and, hey, we're going to be best pals. We're going to go hunt down Pokemon and be the best Pokemon, whatever we can. But
and then
story-wise,
and then a 1,000-year-old man recruits you to become the world saver.
Pretty much. I mean, you're talking about Az, huh?
I don't know. You're playing the game, my dude.
Yeah, he's the one in the hotel with the big cane, and he's
and he's 1,000 years old.
Little group. Yeah, he looks like 1,000 years old.
No, he is 1,000 years old. I am not. I do not mean that metaphorically. I mean that literally.
Okay.
Like I played that game, and yeah, he is old. That thing where he says it's been 1,000 years. He's serious about that.
One thing I do really enjoy about this game is the real-time battles are fantastic. It's a great way to breathe more life into Pokemon that hasn't been done before. And it's just swapping in and out instantly really adds a nice fast pace. And the later I get into the game, the more challenging it actually is. And that's something I haven't had to deal with before, because everything previous Pokemon games, for the most part, has been kind of a breeze, except to Arceus.
Well, unless you go out of your way to avoid trainers or something.
Right. So other than that, I had no problem with the Z trainer, but then the X trainer gave me a little bit of a difficulty, but I was able to beat her the first time as well. But I was down to my last 2 Pokemon for that, so I enjoy that. I enjoy that they finally given me a challenge. It means I just gotta work on the ones Pokemon I want to get them leveled up and get them trained well. But also, it's kind of an open world, kind of not. But I do enjoy the fact that you can go up to rooftops now and explore on there, and it's got a better feeling of exploration, I think, than some of the previous ones.
Did you play Legends Arceus?
In that regard. Yeah. I guess Legend Arceus would definitely be more of exploration than this one. This one feels a little bit of a step back. Main problem is, why is this $10 more on the Switch 2 than the Switch, when really all it is a slightly HD 60 frames per second boost that they should have been able to do on the same cart without too much of an issue.
It's because Nintendo is cheap.
Well, it's also
And
it's
they
also
have
become
this.
well, it's also because Switch 2 is changing the pricing model of games, but they are kind of spanning generations a bit. So, like,
I would believe that more if they did like what Sony did and sell legitimately games with two different levels of visuals. Like
I
if
mean,
this had like significantly improved visuals, then I would
Yeah, all the
well,
understand the increase
okay,
in
and
price.
it's pretty much the same textures. All it is a 1080p 60 frames per second and a lot less pop-in than the Switch version.
And I
yeah,
don't
more
know,
or
like
less.
that sounds
It's
like me
more,
to just
yeah.
like basically mess with in the settings of the game. Like that's something you can do on the on a PC when you're just going between low end and high end.
Like,
Like I don't know,
Yeah. And that
it
said,
just doesn't feel like something that's worth it. But like you're gonna pay the extra $10 because of course you don't want to deal with the low resolution and increased pop in on your brand new portable console.
right, and I will say I'm not that impressed with the visuals. It feels like it's a step above Scarlet, but just like a small step above
Like
Scarlet. I mean, you're dealing with buildings with a flat plane with windows and everything.
if
That's
I
just
get this,
one big flat texture
if
on
I
them.
get this, it's gonna be one of the final games I get with that Switch certificate thing. I think I'm saying it voucher, the
voucher.
vouchers where it'll
Yeah.
be $50 for me.
I will say I've been surprised and delighted that the Switch 2 versions have effectively reported pretty consistently good performance, because that continues to be an issue for Pokemon games.
I would hope.
I mean,
I would hope the Switch 2 can run the Switch 1 game well.
well, sure, but like keep in mind, like, Pokemon makes these like great Game Freak makes these games on a pretty slim budget. Like you would
Which
be
is insane.
it is. I recently had it explained to me how exactly the distribution of responsibility works on this, and Nintendo may be publisher on this, Pokemon Company may be marketing, but apparently Game Freak actually fronts the cost of development itself, which
That is weird.
surprises me so much.
Yeah.
Maybe they should stop doing that then and just give us voice acting.
Uh, eh, I
At this
That's
point,
another
they need
thing. It
to
was like
look.
they're
have a
going through
serious
all of the
discussion with
acting.
Nintendo and be like, "Hey, we're your biggest moneymaker now.
Look,
They're going through
Give us
all
a
the
little bit more
animation for the
towards
voice
development.
acting,
Come
but
on."
still silence.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, man. Like, we can complain all we want, but the reality of the situation is they always have almost every year they have a release or a major expansion, and it continues to sell fine, and it seems to be sustainable in a way that Ubisoft's attempts at making something, Ubisoft and EA's attempts at making something continuous in that way
They had
continue
voice
to fail.
acting 30 years ago. Voice
Yeah,
acting is
but
not what's keeping them sustainable,
No, but
or lack of voice
no, I'm
acting.
just saying. I'm
the
not
thing is,
saying
they also
voice
kind of
acting. I'm saying it's just keeping the cost of this cost down and speed up. We'll say.
right. It's not. There's got to be a happy middle because yeah, Ubisoft, EA, like Sony Pictures, they tend to spend a ton on
They
graphics and
they will like produce basically
voice and
these
music and everything.
glorified.
Huge budgets that not necessarily will pay off as well as they think they will.
Those companies basically produce these glorified 80-hour animated movies. And Nintendo with Pokemon, it's like, oh, it was we're gonna make something that was like kind of acceptable in terms of production values back in like 2003.
Yeah, I mean,
Although like when it comes to the visuals, I think the visuals are fine. I just find it kind of insane that they're charging 70 for the Switch 2 version.
I
Like if they just like, but like like graphics is like one of the biggest money sinks. I really do feel like everyone needs to kind of pull back on to get costs down.
I promise you, when the next generation starts, each of those games are going to be $70, and there's going to be 2 of them.
Yes, definitely.
And it's
The next generation is apparently going to be like Switch 2 exclusive, so it'll at least be 70.
yeah.
To be honest, I am surprised there isn't a second Pokemon ZA that's kind of like Gold or something.
No, this is their experimental line. Like this explicitly exists. Like this is the literally speaking, I've heard that they have direct story ties to plot events of the original Pokemon X and Y in this, is my understanding, including
Yeah,
including Az, who was a character in there.
like they have the homeless girl who's now like an adult ninja lady, and people like her butt now.
Beautiful. Perfect.
But in any case, I'm sorry, because I've been exposed to that constantly. It's like I have to bring that up because
Look,
it is like a quarter of the conversation. I
Look,
swear to
if there's
God.
anything I know about the Pokemon fandom, it's that they're always very normal about the characters and the monsters. All of the time. They're only very normal about it.
In any case, so let's move on to you and your mining and crafting.
I'm gonna talk quickly about Keeper. Hey,
All right, and that.
like, hey, I can't spend money on games right now. I just can't. So I've been going back to things that are either going to be on my Game Pass, which has been prepaid up through the end of 2026, or things that I have purchased prior but haven't like played or enjoyed. So I feel like I'm kind of done with I feel like I'm done enough with Dead Cells. It's fine. It's good. I can be done with it. I beat it twice. That's enough for me. Keeper came out. Keeper is the latest game from Double Fine, who you would know as the Psychonauts developers. They've done projects like Costume Quest, Stacking, just a bunch of interesting, crazy, delightful games of various sizes and scopes, but usually always full of personality, and Keeper is one of those. I it's it so I feel like this genre phrase doesn't get thrown around anymore, but it's kind of hard to discuss it as anything but like a walking simulator. It it really kind of is. Like you move forward, near as I could tell, on a fairly linear path. Occasionally there will be puzzles for you to solve that might require you to go to different sections, but more often than not, you usually have to accomplish things in a specific order, or you're very isolated into a specific set of areas that you can explore. But by and large, like, it's a pretty linear, fairly short game, about maybe 5 hours, where you are a sentient lighthouse and his friend that is a bird trying to wander the
Oh yeah, I've heard of this. It
trying
was on the was on what's it called? Jeff Keighley thing.
yeah effectively, yeah, you're a sentient lighthouse. You're on this sort of weird alien world that might be post-apocalyptic. It's kind of hard to say, but by and large, like, it's just a fascinating way to see like a whole bunch of, I guess, you Tim Burton-esque landscapes, maybe you might say. Just strange environments and different creatures that you're interacting with. I don't want to discuss too much, because I think that, hey, if you're still a Game Pass subscriber, like, just go in. It's a short game. It's a fascinating experience. It's primarily just taking in very interesting visuals. I think the thing that I found most striking was the actual landscape is designed to look like it is has a painted effect on it, to the degree that, like, you can see brush strokes in the 3D environment, which is a really nice and lovely effect. You walk through, you complete puzzles, you help these other creatures and aliens. Like, the first big puzzle that you encounter is a tree dude. Like, it's a living tree guy. There is no dialogue in this. In fact, I didn't even learn that the character had a name until it brought up, like, a small tutorial text to tell me, hey, send your bird friend out here to do this. Like, wait, he has a name? Oh, okay. Well, okay, I'll do that. And then I just went over, the tree guy needed eyeballs. He did not have eyeballs, and he did not have a head gem. So I needed to wander around the environment, find these little puzzle areas, and, like, okay, I can get this gem, and then the bird goes over and crams the eyeball in him, and then eventually, hey, if you complete all of the things, he stands up and lets you pass, and then you go over to the next odd civilization or odd area and go through strange, weird experiences there. It's just like if you just want something for Halloween that is all about atmosphere, but isn't necessarily scary, it's just really good for that. Like, it's very it's pleasant and interesting, but off-putting in some ways. That it's I shouldn't say it's off-putting. It's very alien. It's very unusual. It's an atmosphere to take in because it's so unlike. It's unlike environments that you would see in games. I guess that's how I would contextualize it. Like, as a $30 game, it's a little hard to recommend. As much as I love Double Fine, but hey, like I said, if you still happen to be a Game Pass subscriber, go check it out. It's short, it's neat, it's cool, it's probably great for Halloween. So, the other thing I'm playing is Minecraft. Hey, I'm not going to bother explaining what Minecraft is. Everyone knows what Minecraft is. It's culturally ubiquitous.
I don't know what Minecraft is.
That's bullcrap, and you know it.
I guess
First you mine,
emerged
then
from
you craft.
I guess emerged
what
from
it is.
2006. Minecraft.
So yeah, I'm not gonna waste everyone's time explaining what Minecraft is, but I imagine it's probably interesting coming at it from the angle of, like, I have literally never played Minecraft prior. I absorbed a lot of information about it, both culturally over the last decade or so, but also, like, I was big listening into podcasts and game criticism and commentary way back, even farther back than when Minecraft first came out. So I was kind of, I was familiar with a lot of the discourse around it as this weird indie novelty where you can't even play it without a wiki. Like, it's incomprehensible, but everyone seems to be absolutely obsessed with it until eventually, like, it became the cultural phenomenon that it is and got purchased by Microsoft and continues to endure to this day. And as someone who does not necessarily feel compelled by cultural ubiquity, it was just like, well, yeah, number one, this thing would cause problems for me if I ever got into it, because I know myself well enough that, like, oh, this is going to be a problem. Guess what? It's a problem. I mostly started under the pretense that, like, hey, I try to cover things that I wouldn't I try to have experiences related to Sonic that I wouldn't normally have day to day, or that things that other people might not necessarily normally experience. It's the stuff that brought me to play all those weird mobile games way back when, until I realized that was burning me out. So yeah, I wanted to check out the Sonic stuff in Minecraft. So first night I did a stream. I only applied the Sonic Minecraft skin. So I found out basically what about it made it as addictive and standing as it was. And
I will say the skins versus the content can be very different.
Right. Well, they're okay. So there's three different packs going on here. And basically one of the packs exists because Microsoft or Mojang introduced a new qualification of stuff. So I guess I'll go into the Sonic stuff first, and then I'll maybe give a more broad overview. So okay. So it's divided into 3 possible packs that you can get through this company that made the Sonic content, that licensed it from Sega. Sega worked with them. I'm guessing they bought a license like, hey, we want to make Sonic stuff because Sonic is a recognizable brand, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
One of them, the most basic one, is a skin pack. And the skin pack effectively reskins a lot of the various cube graphics and iconography and HUD to something that is Sonic themed. So hey, my life is now represented by rings instead of hearts, and I have chili dogs instead of the meat food thing, the meat on the bone representing my hunger. All of the mobs are like different kinds of badniks or small animals that would get caught in capsules. Like one of the most confusing ones. I was on a call with some friends who had played Minecraft previously, and I had not seen the original graphics for a lot of this stuff, so it was like, okay, this is clearly the black market Chao from Sonic Adventure / Sonic Adventure 2. Like, I can recognize this. What exactly is this supposed to be in the language of Minecraft? And apparently there's roaming sales villagers around that they replaced it with. And I had no clue, like, okay, I don't get what this is. I don't get what I'm supposed to do with it, but it sure looks weird, and it's going to be hanging around here, so sure, it's not attacking me, so I don't need to worry about it too much. But, like, it's stuff like, hey, I have a bunch of bees' nests around my house, and all of the bees that come out look like buzz bombers. All of these zombies look kind of like vaguely like broken down gizoids. All of the archers look like egg bots, while all of the like witches and marauders kind of look like egg pawns. And then like animals and stuff get like bigger, more expressive Sonic faces. You can see Cucky and Becky and other animals replacing the equivalent in Minecraft, replacing like the bears and chickens and but even like the cows just have big dopey expressive eyes as opposed to how they would normally look in Minecraft. And it changes some of the items. I just recently got access to gold, and that is represented, unsurprisingly, by rings. I got a clock now, and that kind of vaguely looks like the Miles Electric computer. It's just kind of neat. Like, even the blocks themselves, like, it kind of feels like, hey, the mountainous landscape kind of looks Green Hill adjacent. It's pretty nice. I haven't played without that skin pack, so it's going to be interesting whenever I go back and maybe have to turn it off at some point to play on a server. And it's like, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like. That's gonna throw me for a loop. The second pack is like some sort of adventure map pack. That's the one that actually comes with like 14 character skins. So if you wanted to dress up as Sonic characters in a Minecraft world, that's the one you have to get for that. But the more sizable content within that is like this adventure map that is all Sonic themed. You start off in like this big warehouse that's full of different Sonic iconography in a Minecraft style, like the tornadoes there, and Orbot and Cubot are there, and there's some Badniks there as well. And you use that as sort of a hub to get into these more linear, I'm going to say Generations-esque levels built entirely in the Minecraft engine. You don't play it as if it's Minecraft. Like, it disables a lot of the actions that you would typically do in Minecraft.
Looks like a weird platformer.
Yeah, it is a weird platformer. But it takes you through a green hill. It takes you through a series of green hill levels, a series of chemical plant levels. I never made it far enough to get the Sky Sanctuary levels, and then they added a vaguely Sonic 2 film inspired labyrinth zone as well. It's interesting. It's admirable that they actually built the platformer in Minecraft with Minecraft stuff. And I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's particularly fun to play at all.
Yeah.
I
bought this pack you're talking about, and yeah, it's not that fun.
It's an issue where it just doesn't feel satisfying to move around in, and it's really cool to see all of the Sonic stuff in the Minecraft style. I have no complaints about that part. But what you immediately start to notice is that very large segments of the level design are strictly cut and paste. You repeat very similar parts of this over and over again, and the platforming itself is not interesting. Like, it's very basic, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to not take damage. And that gets complex because progression in this game seems like it's largely defined by either getting good scores or collecting rings and bringing them to the end of the level. But it's also so easy to lose your rings. And the things that they want you to collect seem insurmountable because I don't think you bank your rings. I think you just have to keep holding on to them level upon level until you might have something built up enough to collect these other characters that would become playable in the stage. It's very confusing structurally, and I admire the aesthetical choices. I just think as a game, it's weird and just really janky to try to wrap your head around and actually play. I guess it's nice that, hey, I got a bunch of skins that I can take back into the standard game. Like, not every pack that this group has done has, like, offered that within a world thing, but, like, that's mostly what I got out of it, is hey, here's some cool stuff to look at, and also here's some character skins, and that's kind of the extent of what I think is worth it out of it. There's a third one I didn't get a chance to try, and that is considered an add-on. And what separates...
Is that the one with the Supersonic Chaos Emerald stuff?
Yeah, my understanding about add-ons is that they are things that you can actually bring into a game world without having to create a specialized bespoke game world. Like, the skin pack that changes the visuals of the world doesn't change anything about the game mechanically. It just changes the graphics. So everything behaves as it would without the skin pack. It just looks different.
Mm,
This
right.
would add new mechanics, and I believe it adds new mechanics without having to start a new world, that you can just flip on this behavior pack or whatever, and then suddenly, hey, do you want to transform into Sonic? Yeah, you can transform into Sonic and do some Sonic stuff in this, and collect things and fight things and do things within the context of a more traditional Minecraft server world. Which I'll be interested to try that out eventually, but I'm still going through the experience of unpacking Minecraft. I think in the interest of time, I'll probably cut it off there, though. I've played a lot.
Probably smart.
I have lived the Minecraft life. I am trying not to
It was funny seeing you try to like figure everything out for those first 2 hours.
Yeah, I did
You just kept dying, spawning on a cliff, dying.
Oh, my first experience with that was miserable because my I so I did not know, and I purposely tried to avoid relying too much on external information.
You went in maximum noob.
Yeah,
Is what you're saying.
yeah, because I wanted to have the Minecraft experience. I didn't want to necessarily go in and be like, no, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this and this and this, and this is the workflow. I wanted to kind of, feel my way through and actually get a sense of the workflow, because that's what I find interesting. I want to discover something. Now, eventually, I might go all in and spend a lot of time on the wiki, but, so far, I've really only felt the need to look up, 3 things that weren't told to me explicitly by a friend, and it's just I don't get what hoppers are for. I need to figure out the behavior of a hopper, because I don't understand that. And then I also wanted to figure out, okay, I desperately need iron. How can I get iron? Okay, iron distribution is pretty well centered around this area, so yeah, I should probably be spending more time around here, so.
You figuring out how to turn logs into sticks was a revelation in that game.
You need so many sticks, and you do not get that many sticks in the game naturally. You get them by, breaking down tree roughage, and then I learned, you can turn logs into boards, which, okay, I figured that part out. And then I did not realize I wasn't looking in the in the craft recipe book closely enough. But yeah, you can turn the boards into sticks, and then the sticks can actually become things that you need, like ladders and torches. And then eventually I figured out, how you get beds and how you can shear sheep. And at this point, I have I have a stylish little cabin that I have built that
Ooh.
has a deep underground basement attached to a very large waterfall and crevice. I've had a few moments where it's like, I'm digging through here. Oh, here's some coal that I want to collect. I punch a hole in the wall, and suddenly I realize, no, this hole is connected to the river. I need to either plug this, or it's gonna get entirely flooded. And
you can easily dig a hole where you just drop and fall into lava. So you gotta be real careful with those.
I haven't. I've been smart enough to not do that yet. I've been smart enough to be like, okay, I'm going to look before I punch down. I will punch down in a square of 2x2, and I will do so that I am not punching down the thing that I am actively standing on. So
I think my biggest accomplishment in the game was 10 years ago. I did a glass castle where the monsters couldn't look at it on me, but they could, attack me and everything. And then I made another castle on the other side of the island. And I made this huge, long bridge that connected the two, and that's pretty much my biggest accomplishment in that game.
I've spent 2 days, so I've spent several days playing, but it hits my exploration bug, because I kind of
this is a game where you just do whatever the heck you want. There's no story. There's no.
Right.
There's not really real goals. It's just do what you want. You make your own goal, have your own fun.
But specifically for me, what I'm finding is I I spent one entire day just taking a boat, following the river as far as it can go, going through the ice biome that I guess my home biome is pretty close to a really big ice biome. Building out a map and then discovering like, oh, this world's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. There's stuff way out there that I was not in any way expecting. There's an ocean I haven't engaged with yet, and there's stuff on the other side of it that I can work towards. But I can't go too far because if I do, I'm never going to find my way back to where my home is. So, like, my thought process right now is I want to build something that's going to be so self-sustainable enough that I can actually go out there and feel like I can proficiently explore what's out there. But I haven't even made it far enough to really explore what's underneath my own house sufficiently enough. Because there's caverns down there. I can see caverns that I don't know how to get to yet, but I can see through holes in the ground that if I wanted to fling myself into them and lose everything I'm carrying, I could do that. But I don't want to do that because I want to go down there and I want to get stuff and I want to bring it back up and I want to turn it into other things. So I'll leave it at that for now. Maybe I'll eventually give another update on like, here's where I'm at with my stuff. But you can
You
probably
need to play it with us so that I can slaughter all the things that you won't slaughter.
So that's kind of where I'm at in my thought process right now. Is like I have looked into what it takes to run a server, and I could do it, but I'm kind of wary of like opening up my home network to that kind of stuff. So I can do, they do have like peer-to-peer options where I could create a shared world. And I'm kind of thinking of that. Now, the other option that they have is you can have small Microsoft-hosted servers called Realms for like, I think it's $4 a month. And if we're legit, and it's the kind of thing where, like, I'm kind of getting the sense that I might be legit interested in this. And I know some friends who would also be. And you are it sounds like you are kind of interested. And I'm
at least interested in checking it out.
And I'm almost to the point where it's like, okay, we could have a shared server for like $1 from each of us a month. Like if we all chip in like $1 a month, that's enough to justify the cost. So
I want to be clear. I am not a crafter. I am the person who will like build the most basic ass thing in the side of a mountain.
sure.
And just be happy with that, and then build a couple of weapons, and that'll be it for me.
If you just want to occasionally dick around in a big world where everyone else is doing interesting things or just contributing resources or whatever, like I'm not gonna say no. That's for $1 a month. I don't know. Maybe that's worth it for you. Maybe it's not. But But I'm just thinking like, hey, in the back of my head, like, hey, we could do Realms. We could do Realms. We could have the Sonic Stadium staff server or something where we're going in and doing crap. But yeah, it's a thought process. It's something to think about.
In any case, so moving on to Sonic stuff.
Wait, there was Sonic stuff apparently.
Yeah.
Isn't this a just play old games podcast? I thought that's what we became now.
No, we're playing new games. We're playing new games, Shigs.
We're playing Sonic Rumble is what we're playing.
We're playing the newest game.
At least eventually. So Sonic Rumble, we have a date for the global release. And it is, drum roll please. Can we actually do that?
Probably not.
Okay. November 5th, which is like about when I basically predicted it, because that's when the current season pass ends.
Cool.
I feel happy about that I guessed that, even though it was like a very well-educated guess.
Sure.
So yeah, so y'all can stop asking. Y'all can stop saying, when's it coming? Boy, I wish I could play this. Guess what? You will on November 5th.
No, the
So
sentiment that I've been hearing, which seems like the most insane sentiment that I have ever seen, is like, well, no, it's too late now. Now I'm not interested. It's like,
look,
then you didn't give a crap in the first place, apparently. You were
If
driven
you
entirely
ever-
by hype.
if you ever complained about this game, about this game's release, especially on Sonic Stadium's news articles about this game, you are obliged to play it. You are required to play it.
They,
You will play it. I don't care where. It's a free game. You can and you will.
They-
God damn it.
turns out nobody actually wanted this game. They were just extremely tsundere about it.
So I
What
hope
a
I
waste
After
made
of
a
game.
whole
myself
year
clear.
of being launched in Brazil or what have you, it's got to be they've got to at least gotten it up to snuff for now for the world.
I mean, I thought it was up to snuff six months ago, if I'm being honest. Like, my only real hang up with this game at this point is, it's free to play. So it's gonna nickel and dime you. And it is, and that was never gonna change.
Oh, it's not
They're
nickel
gonna
and
be very-
It is not nickel and diming you. I promise you that.
True. True. It's more like, what's the word?
robbing you blind.
$5 and $10 in it. I don't know how to upgrade the term.
Inflation is
into
hell.
dollars.
Inflation is hell right now. They've inflated. It's a game. It's a game about inflation, and you know what I mean when I say that.
I mean, it's not even inflation;
Well, hey,
it's
that's,
exchange rates. It was always expensive.
Some of those Sonic fans, that's their kink. So
just Google search Sonic inflation, and it'll explain everything.
Jesus Christ!
Turn safe search
What
off.
were you saying, Shiggs?
Do not do that.
You know what? Do it. If you ever complain about Sonic Rumble's release date, do it. Shiggs, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just repeating what GX was saying. Like, yeah, you don't want to be looking at Sonic inflation.
I meant before that. Jesus.
I was gonna say, I'd be interested in seeing your guys' opinion when it finally comes out of if it's changed anything in the last 6 months since you.
It is, and that's one
originally
reason
played.
why I didn't want to do this on November 5th.
It's interesting
because
that I've heard accusations that it has suddenly become pay to win, and I understand there's going to be different views on what the
accusations. It's not a global release yet. How can they make that accusation?
I mean, I assume they're talking about skills, and that's not really something I'd agree with from what I played.
My understanding is that in recent updates they have introduced a leaderboard, and that basically the things you own can impact your score on the leaderboards, which...
Oh, right, yeah, there is that, but that's not pay to win, that's pay to, I don't know, get more Red Star rings.
That's kind of the interesting thing that I found about is that I don't consider that, the appealing loop of the game is trying to get up the leaderboards. I understand, yes, technically speaking, that is a motivating factor for some people, but I also look at that in the same way that I look at it in Sonic Forces Speed Battle. It's you can rank up, sure, but it's more interesting. The game-to-game gameplay is more interesting, and there's no way to really make winning an individual game easier in this. It's just you can make your wins more impactful, and I suppose if you're really worried about the meta in this game, I'll tell you right ahead, the meta is trash. The meta is absolute garbage. The meta is terrible. It is every bad archetype that you can think of from mobile, but the actual gameplay of this is pretty darn fun. I think it's pretty good. I think it's worth trying. I just don't think it's worth getting invested in emotionally.
by and large, I only care about the rankings. I am a bit of a score chaser, but like in this game, the score isn't really something that you get through skill. It's just through like
Well,
what you have equipped.
yeah.
And like at that point,
It
like the only thing, the only real advantage to the rankings is reg star rings, and reg star rings are things that will only get you things from the game from the in-game shop. And so like if you care about the in-game shop, I do get it to an extent at least. But if you just want to play the game for the gameplay, like I think it is perfectly fun,
it
and you don't have to spend a dime. Like I technically have never spent any money on this game, and like and from like and like for the fan for
Now,
the
Mike,
coverage for the PC version I can't, but on the mobile version I've refused to because I don't know if everything will carry over when the game finally launches.
I
You
was
were
going to
saying
say,
GX
mind you,
Chids?
you haven't spent a dime, but I imagine your the monetizing is going to be very, very different from the when you played it.
No, I don't think so because
so
I played it on mobile like
so
real like a couple months
the
ago.
most
No, I
significant
mean
thing
worse.
the most significant thing that they number one, the monetization in the preview version, the pre-release version is pretty nasty. Like if
Yeah.
you want the big fancy skins, if you want the big fancy skins, those are pricey. Like you're not going to gameplay yourself into those.
So and I will go into that once he's done. Continue.
But they are adding a new subscription model to this, which
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Rumble Plus.
yes.
Rumble Plus.
So
And
Okay, go on.
okay,
You piqued my interest.
yeah. Like they announced several of the aspects of it, things that are going in. Like Knuckles, you wrote this up. I don't know why I'm talking about
yeah.
it.
Okay, so yeah, if we're getting into what's coming up in the new update.
Yeah.
So Rumble Plus, just to get into that. So this is something that has like been in the game for a while, actually. But but they're kind of like advertising it as sort of a new thing. It's going to have bonuses such as ring acquisition boost, reg star rings, and free daily claw machine plays, daily omni fragments, which are fragments that you can put towards any skin that you only obtain by getting fragments, XP and ring rewards. A bonus bank to continue gaining XP after maxing out the season pass. You can earn rewards towards the next season, and reduce ring requirements for the ring claw machine. So like what for me like one of the biggest roadblocks to not spending money on this was just the rings. Just if you want to find out rings, it has a daily cap of I think like 32,000.
Yeah, something like
Um
that.
and I think this one, like I think the Rumble Plus is supposed to double it. It sounds like it's also doing that for XP for the season passes now, which should be very useful if you're going for the season passes monthly.
That's
Um,
so to understand this, it based on their phrasing, it doesn't sound like Rumble Plus includes the season pass.
it does not include the season pass,
That's
no.
very weird. I
Yeah,
But
I don't like that.
I think the Rumble Plus is like $4 a month. Might be five. But the season pass, the season pass was like I think it was like $10 for the season pass, and then like they'll usually like have another event
so
pass
so
with its own skins for like
I
$8.
believe the season pass was acquirable through in-game currency. It's just that, right?
Well,
Or is it?
so every season pass will have a tier that's free and then a paid only tier.
But the paid only
And then
is the paid. Okay, but the paid only tier was through Red Star rings, was it not?
no, paid only is money.
Okay, okay, so they are effectively so it sounds like they have two subscription models at this point, which
Oh, good lord.
Essentially, I mean, technically, if you want to get down to it, it's like three subscription models. Because, like I said, they have a pass for that. They have two passes running a lot of the time. Like they'll have a special pass that like be holiday themed or baseball themed or whatever.
Hey,
then they'll have the season pass.
hey, y'all, remember when I said the meta for this was rancid?
It's like, look, if you want skins, you are going to have to spend money. Like, okay, there are some free skins. Like there are skins that you can get with rings. There are skins that you can get through other
You
means like
at
Omni
at
fragments.
the
But
very
there are a
at the
lot of
very least, I want to emphasize this so that people understand this. We have said it before, it is worth saying
yeah.
again. If you just want the characters, generally speaking, the core Sonic cast is fully acquirable through standard gameplay.
And yeah, and I got them all through standard gameplays. It's like you get them all through rings.
Now, if you want the
And
fancy versions of them, whether they're like made of metal or have a crazy costume or something, then you're getting into situations where you're probably going to have to either grind intensely or pay for subscriptions or currency. Which, if
so
you
like
don't care
if you're
about
into
that,
those,
congratulations, you have succeeded in properly playing this game. But if you sincerely, if
yes.
you really, really care about getting those skins, stay away from this game. I will tell you that actively.
Yes, like unless you have a lot of self-control, don't just stay away. Because like the skins, that is how they're making all their money. And like the skins that you get through Red Star rings. Last I counted, it was like $30 to $70 worth of Red Star rings, right? Per skin. It was freaking insane.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that by the time we get to this release, Red Star rings will be relatively more obtainable because as it stands, it's freaking insane. Like how much those Red Star rings cost and how many you need for a lot of these skins.
Yeah.
Now, like for me personally, I could take or leave most of the skins. Like the only ones I've considered buying are like the extreme gear skins that were generally cheap. At least like back like a year ago when I was considering it. I didn't think the game was this far off. Um but like I don't know, for the like I don't know, the Egyptian skins or the
I mean,
pilgrim skins or whatever.
the only
It's like, nah, I'm good.
the only ones that I really wanted
Yeah,
were
to be honest, I could give a shit about themed skins.
I care a little bit about some of the crossover ones, like Opa Opa and the Bonanza Brothers, just because they're so silly. Those are things that I
Yeah.
might pay some reasonable amount of money for, but beyond that, like, I kind of agree. Like, I don't think the skins are great. Like, I don't think the skins hold up visually when you compare them
I
to
like a
what
bunch of the skins visually, if I'm being honest, but
but you can like kind of look at those and compare. The problem is you have a direct point of comparison, and it is Sonic Speed Battle and Dash, and those are much more involved skins. Like, those are much more
yeah,
stylish, involved, crazy skins that are like, no, I can see why someone would ask money for that, but you can get most of them without doing exactly that. So it's
like
not.
I've spent some money on Sonic Forces, but not a lot, and not in a long time at this point.
But if you don't, like I said, that's all if you do not trust yourself to not, like, if you trust yourself to not get invested in the meta layer of this stuff, then by all means give it a shot. It's a fun game that is, Fall Guys like. If you cannot trust your if you are one of the people who is mad at the stupid Roblox game for its economy, stay away from this because you will only experience pain. I promise you
Although
this.
it is a better game than Speed Battle.
Oh, no.
But
No,
yeah.
let me full stop. It is a game. That separates it from Speed Battle.
Let's see. I'm looking at the mobile game right now to see. Sorry, at Sonic Rumble right now.
Yeah,
Um,
they put in
oh,
they're putting in a bunch of new stages. Like it's launching with new content, and it's also launching with a returning event that happened during the
oh
pre-release
yeah,
period.
yeah, it is coming back. Sonic 3, the Sonic 3 tie-in event is coming back. So y'all can stop asking about that. um, and with that, woof. With that, also, man,
I don't know if this is new or not, but they have a Space Colony Arc stage that they have several challenges in.
Oh, that yeah. Okay, so all right. So they did announce a bunch of new stages, new characters. Uh, sorry, I
Space Colony
navigated
Arc.
away for a second
There's
there. Space. We got Space Colony Arc. A bunch of Run 1, Run 2. That's always good. The
is
run levels are always my favorite.
is Sweet
Sweet
Mountain
Mountain
new?
Run 2.
Is Sweet Mountain new?
Yes, all of these are new. All
Well,
of these
They're
are
all
new.
new
Sweet
to me.
Mountain.
well, no.
Sweet
Hold on,
Mountain
hold on.
Run 2 is new specifically.
Desert Ruins is not new. Desert Ruins
No,
is a
but
new
the Hunt version is
stage in the
the Hunt
theme.
version is new.
Is Sweet
Yeah.
Mountain a new stage motif?
No.
Okay.
This is Run 2, so it's the second Sweet Mountain run that we've gotten.
However, Space
Uh,
Colony Arc is a new motif.
yeah, that's the only like brand new motif. Yes.
Cool.
And it looks like it's kind of funny. This is like so Shadow Generations themed because we've got Space Colony Arc 1, Arc Run 1, Run 2, Hunt Survival, and Ring Battle 2. Huh. That's weird. I don't remember there being a Ring Battle 1. And also the BioLizard is coming as a cooperative boss, which the co-op bosses are always a lot of fun for me. I do wish that they were available more regularly, but they do come and go, and this one will be coming in late November. And Storming Wave will also be available at launch as brand new playable characters, which I think does mean this will now have all of the sort of all of the like standard Sonic modern cast members. Hopefully, after this, we'll start like getting into some of the more obscure ones like Mephiles and Infinite.
I mean, if you compare it to CrossWorlds, it doesn't have Zaz yet.
Oh right, okay, we need the Deadly Six still. Damn, we only have Zavik right now. um, but yeah, so we were getting a whole heap of content with this. We're also getting balance adjustments to a bunch of skills. Um,
They're
and
adding
other things.
they're adding like another layer to the ranking mode.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good because that'll like be another way to get a whole ass load of rings. So if you are ranked 80th or higher in the overall Rumble rankings, you will qualify for the Master Emerald League.
I don't know what that
So
means.
that's good. Well, like the rankings, there's like a ranking system where it goes like bronze, silver, gold,
But
platinum,
okay, I
etc.
understand that part, but
And every
like
time you rank up, you got a whole bunch of red star rings.
but when they say 80th, do they mean like of total rank? Like there are only 80
I
people
think they
who are
mean I think they mean out of all of Sonic Rumble, yes.
that okay. That's I don't know why you would make a league just for that. That seems like a bad use of resources, but sure, if you for some reason need to give 80 people a specific league for them to play in, I guess go ahead. I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting to see if I can like grind my way up there. I hope I'll have the time.
Got a claw
um
machine. They got skill levels. I don't skill level sounds like that could be a problem. Like, I don't know.
well, skill levels aren't new. And honestly, like I've never noticed that particularly affecting the meta that much, if I'm
Yeah,
being
I
honest.
skills are kind of interesting, but I've never felt like they are game changing. They maybe add a little bit of nuance, but like I've never seen a game won or lost due to a skill.
Like, I don't know, for me the skills are more like things that will like nudge you up a little higher. It's like, you have a skill that will like put you into a bubble and make you invincible for a few minutes, which can be useful for like survival rounds. Um, but like one then your bubble pops, and then if you're in a bad position, you'll just get knocked right off. So, um, so one more thing from Sonic Rumble, Cat Shadow won the Sonic Rumble skin contest, which apparently that sparked some controversy on Twitter. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I just know that the skin looks cute.
It was the right choice. The internet made the right choice.
I like to have a headcanon that all of these skins are like alternate universe versions of the characters. And so for this, it's like in this universe, Shadow just likes to
In this
dress in a
universe,
cat
Shadow is a
costume.
VTuber.
So Shits, anything to say?
Not too much. I mean, I'm very interested in seeing where this goes and just how much money it requires to get a skin if you want to play as Jet or Storm.
Oh no, Jack, you'll be good. You'll be good.
Like I said, if you want the standard Sonic cast, you will probably be able to get the standard Sonic cast. It's just if you want fancy clothes for them, then you're running into like, okay, how much are you willing to pay?
That's where I don't care.
Well, then you're probably good. Then you're probably good.
Like if you want Vampire Silver, you're gonna have to spend like $8 on the Halloween 2025 event premium pass. But if you just want Smokey the Chao with the pumpkin on its head, you can get that for free. So yeah. So moving on to Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, the other practically live service multiplayer racing game that Sonic has. Almost. Although thankfully you can just give them your $70 up front, so you get most of your stuff for free. So the Joker and Joker Festival hit Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Of course, we've all played Joker before.
Yeah, in fact, I was busy with a lot of stuff last weekend. I didn't even touch this particular festival.
Well, like all you really missed out on was decals, a whoring sound, which is less annoying than the other whoring sounds we've gotten from these festivals so far.
You've missed all the only other things that have ever been in a festival. It's they maybe rearranged some of the way that the festivals are handled in terms of their distribution, but the festivals themselves are by and large the same, as near as I can tell.
Well, yeah, but the rules, the gameplay rules were different. And for this one, let's see, it was ring rankings and getting rings and oh yes, and boosts, getting the most boosts. And I really like the ring gathering one. That one was my favorite standout rule set from this. Team tapping continues to kind of be my least favorite. I could do without that, especially since they have that like at the top of every hour. But I don't know. Overall, it's fun for what it is. I do wish that they didn't have to kill World Match, and hopefully, eventually, they will stop doing that.
I suspect that will continue to be a thing because the goal is to get people online to be playing, and I understand that people don't like it whenever it changes from the standard play, but they also don't want to split their audience, and what you're describing is splitting the audience.
That's true. Now, my favorite personal thing from this was using Joker's car to like make a new Shadow vehicle, because of course those wings, those wings in the back, they look kind of like Sephiroth wings, and they look kind of like Shadow's doom wings.
They do not look like Sephiroth wings because there are two of them.
I said kind of like. Unfortunately, you cannot remove one.
I'm seeing double
but
two
regardless,
wings.
I used it to like make the ultimate emo car for my little emo hedgie. And I got to drive that around a bit online. But in any case, that's all I gotta say on the festival.
Cool. I have not played in a while because I will play whenever that SpongeBob track comes out. I honestly haven't played that much of the new Minecraft track, so it'll be extra exciting when there's two of them for me to really try to experience.
Got eaten by Minecraft. Okay, so Iizuka hinted at CrossWorlds having multiple years of DLC if people are coming back and playing, and
Hint,
asked players to
hint,
tell Sega what they want.
hint is a
He specifically
strong word.
said we could have 2 or 3 years of downloadable content.
Yeah, that's not
is
hinting.
what he said.
That's not hinting. That's aspirational.
Right.
Okay, regardless, he said that we could have 2 or 3 years of new content in this game, which I do find interesting because if it does well,
and if players continue, and if they continue to consume the DLC and everything, which maybe they will. I mean,
which I mean, duh. Like if the game is doing well, you're gonna like sell them more DLC, or at least do more free DLC. Like, of course.
It's just a question of what their expectation threshold is. Like, we know.
I mean, I don't know. They seem pretty happy with how it's done so far. Like they bragged about it in their press release.
Sure. Well, there's a difference between I'm pretty happy about it and we're going to dedicate a team to continue to support it ongoing long term. Like that, right. One of them is getting in money. The other one is dedicating additional money to make more stuff for it.
That is true. Now, did I interrupt you saying anything, or just like
no,
okay.
That's me, just me being the wet blanket of reality over
fanboy
expectations.
You're just speaking the obvious. Obviously, if the game doesn't do well enough, we're not going to get more than this year of content. But I guess I find it interesting that he said like, hey, we could have 3 years of content, which is like, but I remember I was talking about maybe them doing one more, and you were like, they're not going to do that. What development thing do they have set up for that?
Apparently they've got I don't think they're going to get that far.
We're still in the phase of Disco Stew talking about 8-track sales, saying if this line continues, it's selling well. We'll see how long it sells well. We'll see what its threshold is.
And frankly, not that incredibly well, I find.
Now, Shigs, yes. You weren't here for this conversation before, so I want to ask you specifically, like, what kind of content would you want to see in a hypothetical, like, year 2 of DLC content for this?
Godzilla. We got him in Super Monkey Ball. Let's get him in this.
That was one of the ones that GX brought up, I think.
In fact, I mean, if you want a small Godzilla, do Chibi Godzilla. They're these cartoons Toho does.
No, my
Chibi
pitch,
Godzilla, Chibi Mecha Godzilla.
My pitch was a Godzilla track. You go through a city you go through a city being attacked by Godzilla. Part of the track is going and driving on Godzilla.
Picture this. You are some guy in a rubber Godzilla costume, driving a Godzilla car, driving up Godzilla's back. That could work. They could do that.
I want an elimination mode. Honestly, like I want the elimination mode in the style of Mario Kart. World. Yeah, because that's a really good mode. It's a really good mode. They could just keep throwing different worlds at you and keep the race going until you've gone through as much as you need to. Boy, that's I
feel like I pitched something like this, like a month or two ago, maybe Knockout Tour, but with CrossWorlds.
Oh, what if you could just do the ultimate track where you go through like 5 or 6 different tracks, 1 lap each? I don't know if the game's designed to allow for that, but that would be fascinating.
Like, if it is, they do need to do that, because that would be insane, especially in the sense of, like, you know what? Like, there's even, like, a built-in cutoff where, like, hey, if you don't get through this ring by, like, 8th place, then, boom, the race is over for you, and you get booted. then he just walks the other racers playing, so they only have to like load in one track at a time. Like, surely that's at least got to help, right?
Yeah, hey, I have planted my flag firmly here in what does and does not motivate me to play a game, and adding additional gameplay modes to this game would be the thing that would make me most interested.
Now, of course, for me, it is characters, and what I would mostly be most interested in is like Sonic or Sega characters, but we don't know like what that year of DLC content is going to be.
Mobo and
But like,
Robo.
I would
But-
like to see at least like some IDW characters being thrown in.
I'm hoping that's what we're getting in like December or January. Like, I'm crossing my fingers on that. That will at least be getting that in this current batch of free DLC. Now, like in terms of like a second season of paid stuff, like I brought up DC before, of course. Like for me, DC is the most obvious thing they could do. Like in Dragon Ball, that could be another big tie-in that they can do if they're gonna keep shooting for something that big. But what I would be most keenly interested in myself is just like more Sega/Sonic content. Like for Sega, it's like, you know what? Sega tracks, like Sega non-Sonic tracks would be really cool. I would love that. For Sonic, it's like, let's get some classic rep in here. Let's get some more IDW rep in here. Let's do something for the Sonic movies. If we're doing year 2, that's the year of Sonic 3,
Mm-hmm.
So like, why wouldn't you do some movie tie-ins?
Oh, you mean
Sorry,
Sonic 4.
Sonic 4, yes.
Or
Like, why wouldn't you do some tie-in
rumored
for
to be
that?
Sonic CD, which I think is a dumb rumor. I don't think that's ever going to
Oh
happen.
man, I actually forgot to include that in show notes, but yeah, that sounds like a dumb rumor. So it's like, that is what I'd be most interested in, is just more Sega and Sonic stuff. So GX, so Shigs, unless do you have anything else that you want to see this game get?
Not like I was mentioning, IDW be fine. Any crossovers that were feasible, like you're saying DC right now, we got DC Cross Sonic. That's feasible.
I would be surprised if we did not get some promotional skin or skins in the same way that they slowly doled them out for games like Frontiers and Superstars.
I mean, yeah,
like
skins would make a lot of sense, and the game does have a way of supporting them.
yeah.
Like, honestly, what I want most, one of my top asks right now is like, hey, we're getting Knights. Let's get a Riala skin. Let's get that in there. Like, I don't even need like a Riala vehicle.
Knight,
you know what?
Recolor the extreme.
I've got
gear.
it.
The crazy taxi characters with their taxis, like they were in the original.
Well, I mean, like that's
Like
plausible
All-Stars
because they are going to be trying to sell a crazy taxi game in the gestures vaguely at the future.
Yeah, like we could get BD Joe back conceivably. I think we're more likely to get Gilius Thunderhead since we're getting a Golden Axe game sooner, and definitely Shinobi.
We're getting a Golden Axe animated series or something on Comedy
Man,
Network for
that is insane.
It's
I can't believe we're getting
nonsensical.
that.
Why? Who wants Golden Axe? Who cares about Golden Axe?
Golden Axe is now just as relevant as Crash Bandicoot by that metric.
No. Well, absolutely it is not. One of those is by Netflix and the other one is by Comedy Central. Which one of those two entities is more relevant right now?
Well, on Netflix.
Yeah, no crap.
But Comedy Central, that is a proper network. That is serious business.
What are you talking about? A proper network in 2025 is life support. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. Man, do they even have South Park anymore, or is that just Paramount Plus?
Yes.
Yeah, they still have South Park. They have
they have South Park.
They have The Daily Show. I would go with that first and foremost.
And like Paramount Plus will probably get Golden Axe, I guess, or whoever. I don't know how the corporate ownership stuff works. It's gonna be on some streaming service somewhere.
In case you haven't seen that, like the best thing about the South Park thing is that after Paramount fired Stephen Colbert for just and he canceled, I should say, he's still technically on the air right now, for any comments on Trump and that, they just paid $2 billion to get full rights to South Park and not just shared with, I think it was HBO Max, and they are just digging into Trump and absolutely nailing him during these last 2 seasons after they paid $2 billion for all this, and I just absolutely love that kind of karma.
So, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds has sold 1 million copies. I got that in a surprise press release that I did not have an eye out for when they also announced that Joker was in the game, and it also has charted on the U.S. charts, 8th overall, but 3rd place on Steam and 4th on Switch. So it definitely seems to have had a solid launch.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, like
decent.
keep in mind, Sonic is not the biggest. Sonic is not, nor has it ever been the biggest franchise. It is a big multimedia franchise. It is not necessarily a massive video game franchise.
Like Sonic Frontiers, I think was the best-selling Sonic game in recent memory, and like the leaked figures for that was like 4.5 million.
Yeah.
And so like we're already a good chunk of the way towards like its first few months of sales, and we haven't even had the holiday sales yet.
It's a good
a
good start for the kind of space that Sega works in. Now, obviously, hey, it kind of looks like the degree of product placement that they've got going on here probably helped alleviate some of the costs, but it's also the question of, this is a game that they definitely put a lot of money in. So
yeah,
it might be it's absolutely 100% quite successful as a Sonic game. Now, is it successful for the current scale that it's operating with at? That much I could not tell you.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of the missing piece right now, is that like we don't actually know what the expected scale of success for this is. Like Sega generally does not seem to have the bloated expectations of like Square Enix, where they'll like say, "Oh no, the Tomb Raider sold 10 million. It's still below expectation. Sorry."
I mean, look,
because it's like
look at the Like a Dragon series. Like the Like a Dragon series, that's not a massive series for them, but it's one of their biggest series, and like I think if it does 1 million, that's a massive success for that series. But they also like reuse.
Yeah, it's kind of a low budget series too. They like you're saying, they reuse a lot of assets over and over.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's all going to depend on scale for this type of thing, and who knows? Who knows? We'll have the financial reports at some point. They'll probably, even if it's like a middling success in the back end, they'll probably be able to play up the number of copies that they had, but we probably won't ever fully know unless they explicitly say something.
Yeah, Sega always just stops reporting their sales after like 6 months or so. Well, it's kind of annoying.
Unless they're really proud of it, or unless they are, like Sonic Superstars, I think eventually made it to about 2 million?
It was 2.45 million, I believe.
Yeah, and
which is solid for a 2D platform. It was apparently below expectations for them.
at least certainly whenever they reported it. Like, hey, rising tide does not necessarily lift all ships in a franchise like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I you know what? They made a good game. They made a game that I will absolutely recommend. I hope it does well for them. I am not in any way right now frustrated that I don't think I'm going to be able to reasonably afford the Kirby game coming out in the near future, or all of its beautiful amiibo, or its amazing.
You have to take a loan on your house to buy the amiibo at this point.
It's only
$250.
It's only $250 for a complete selection. Like, that's not.
What I'm wondering is whether or not they're gonna like eventually give every character an amiibo.
I don't think Nintendo will allow that. I don't think Nintendo will. They'll give Sakurai a blank check to do a lot of things because he is one of their biggest developers, single developers that they have, and they want to keep him happy. I don't know if they'll let him be that happy.
What I find interesting though is that like even though PlayStation is like the primary platform they promoted this game for, it like had the lowest ranking on that out of all of them. Like
Lower
it
than
placed ninth on
Xbox?
yeah, Xbox it was eighth, and on PlayStation it was ninth.
How did it get 8th on Xbox? Like, what's going on there? Like, Xbox is Xbox.
Well, like I remember I'm talking about like platform rankings here.
Right. I know, but I'm saying, like, look at the state of Xbox right now. How did it accomplish that?
No,
How did it
how to
get
get
Well,
a
PlayStation?
PlayStation sale?
I mean, I don't know. I guess no one Xbox had outsold
It-
Silent Hill F.
It must be all of the Asus stickers that you can get. You can get your ROG label for the cart, so everyone who bought the ROG Ally X is playing Sonic Racing CrossWorlds on it.
But man, it does make me wonder if maybe Sega would be better off forging a marketing relationship with Nintendo, because at least in the US, that's clearly where most of the players still are.
Well, they had before. Like, they had
Well,
previously.
yeah, but that did not. That was like during Nintendo's dark times.
I think
That
Sony's
was
just
very
kind of.
poorly timed.
Yeah, I think Sony's just modified. Like, it depends on, like, hey, who's gonna get the marketing coverage, who's going to get free whatever. Like, say, like, it would not surprise me if the slightest if Sega's very wheeling and dealing about this, that they're not necessarily building the relationships. Like, okay, who's willing to give us coverage and money, and we will go with
Well,
them regardless.
they do love Jeff Keighley's stuff lately, unfortunately. I have had to watch like most of his events now because it's always like, well, Sega's gonna debut something.
Hey, at least in the previous one, it happened right at the beginning, and you didn't have to
Oh,
sit
thank
past.
God. I was so relieved.
I
I still left it on while I was doing the write-ups, but my God.
what is your money on them teasing a new game this December?
I would bet the farm that we're gonna get something this December, like especially since like we have
Do you think
the anniversary.
that's true? Do you think we're 1 year or 2 years out from the next major 3D platformer entry?
I think that the plan is at least to get it out next year.
Okay.
But but like I'm sure that internally it's going to depend on whether or not they think it's actually ready to go, because with Frontiers they spent a lot
Yeah,
of
they don't
time
want
just
to do a
figuring
snow
out what they
sticks
were
again.
doing.
Was
But now they seem to get a firmer grasp of the direction they want to go to after Frontiers. So I've got to imagine 4 years is probably enough.
is the movie next year or 2027?
2027 March.
2027.
Okay, so I could maybe see room for like something new that would be the entire if we look at how Sega positions their projects, they usually have one big thing and like and it goes into a future story, but like they have a thing that they build their marketing campaigns around. And
Yeah, I've begun to notice that. Like ever
Right.
since they had that Friends thing back
yeah,
in 2023, they have had an annual marketing thing every year.
and it usually plays into the game or the film or something that's coming out that they can build the messaging around. Like it culminates. This year they had the race. They have the Red Bull partnership for racing around the world, with McLaren partnerships kind of in the vicinity of that. It you figure next year will probably be around, if they have a new major game next year, it'll probably be centered around whatever that's going to be.
I expect the big marketing push next year will just be 35th anniversary.
Yeah, that's a distinct possibility. Like, I could see that. I'm just wondering, like, okay, is it going to be the Frontiers follow-up, or is it going to be something on the scale of Sonic X Shadow Generations?
And honestly, like I feel like it could go either direction. Like if the like so I failed to put this on the show notes, but I might as well bring this up that like Iizuka did go into their process in regards to how they plan out their Sonic games.
I found that
And they
funny.
basically
I found that funny because he basically described the basic process of all game development.
but basically
Right.
it's like, you know, they assign each game to a particular year, and then they put the necessary resources towards each of those games to get them out in time for that year, and that it's basically like annualized production.
That's just
Like
game
we do
development.
get a game every year.
That's just game
Well,
development if you're a major publisher trying to manage game development.
but so we're getting something next year. That's a guarantee. But the only question is like whether or not the Frontiers follow-up will actually be ready to go in 4 years, or if they have another smaller scale thing planned, which
It's
they very easily could.
I got it. I know what's up. Next year is the year of cards. We're going all in on Blitz, baby.
I mean, Sonic. I mean, technically, I do think Sonic Blitz is going to be marketed primarily as an anniversary game, going over Sonic's history, because you know the game is the game, like each card has information about Sonic's history on it, so it just kind of feels like something that's kind of geared towards his legacy. So I don't know, could be something like that,
And by
but
the time we get it, it'll go through 5 more major revisions. It'll be an entirely different game. It will
I would
actually
expect
become
that.
Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just going to become a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, except with Sonic
Year of
characters.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I do think there's at least a chance that we'll get multiple games next year. Like, I'm not talking about like Sonic Blitz and another game. I mean, like a compilation and then like the mainline game, something like that.
It feels like we're due for at least some sort of, like, some sort of compilation game of retro stuff, because we had Origins, and we had a bunch of delistings, and you know, I'm still going on my BS about, well, freaking announce or do something, but like, there's stuff that they could do. There are so many of those Dimps games that they could find a way to port in one way or another.
Yeah, the Dimps games, the adventure games, like heck, Unleashed.
I
They
don't think they're
keep
going to
doing all
remaster
this stuff around
Adventure again.
Unleashed. That feels like the one that's most likely to get the next Sonic X Shadow Generations type treatment.
You think so?
We had
Yeah, I like I think that like we're definitely gonna get something from Unleashed at some point. I just hope
I don't
that
know.
it's
Unleashed has got that nostalgia thing of, hey, remember this? And they thought it sucked back then, but now you like it, kind of thing.
like I don't know, man. They included the Werehog as a pre-order bonus. Like Unleashed is clearly on Sonic Team's
yeah,
mind
but
right
they
I
now.
guess that's true.
they included like okay, but I guess in Frontier, the problem is they keep giving Sonic those stupid Sonic Adventure 2 shoes. I guess we got Sonic Adventure 2 content in the form of a film, but like, I don't
And
know.
Shadow Generations.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it was all about Sonic Adventure 2 and to a lesser extent Shadow the Hedgehog.
I just don't think
That year.
I just don't think there's a direct line between that and that to say, we were ahead of the bracket. Like, I think we can have Werehog stuff and not necessarily have them be interested in revisiting Unleashed.
Maybe, but I don't know. I feel like if they could have simply given us classic Sonic as a pre-order bonus or one of the IDW characters, but no, it was the Werehog.
Hey, we like they haven't done anything with IDW. Like IDW still isn't. It's limited to mobile stuff. Like we haven't gotten an IDW thing yet. We've gotten like a one-off reference that in a game, and that's kind of it.
That's changing sooner or later.
It probably will eventually, but for now, like,
Like again, there we discussed this before. Where it's like I think it seems like there's some strong indications we'll be getting some IDW stuff in CrossWorlds as DLC. We'll see. We'll hopefully know soon. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, go, do it.
So
Or am I doing it?
moving on.
One of us has to do
So
something.
Moving right on.
Sonic and Tails. Hey, Chicks, I'm gonna slap you. Sonic and Tails pop up and the new McLaren video. This was fun. This was fun.
It was cute.
Like
Yeah.
I do enjoy these little marketing things where it's just the characters futzing around. Shig, were you gonna say something?
No. You go ahead.
Okay. Like, and unfortunately, it did get a little ruined by people like
People
focusing on some background elements and saying this is AI.
Yeah, people
Then
still
the
don't
creator
know how
comes
to.
out and says it's
Yeah.
not AI. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe he's a liar. Probably not. I don't know. I don't care. You guys are like zooming in on this half second of footage that's compressed on YouTube. Just stop.
The internet has proven itself to be both sensationalist and not really good at identifying AI work. Like,
yes, and so I just don't trust it anymore. I don't just shut up. Unless you have very clear evidence, just shut up.
yeah.
Anyway, it was a cute video. And it's the kind of stuff I'm glad we got these partnerships. I hope we get it. We get more in the future.
Yeah, it's fine. It's still very marketing. Like it is extremely marketing. But you know, it's cute marketing.
But like it's marketing that has no effect on me because I don't even know what I don't even care about McLaren. So going on to Chao Tales, which our Halloween special that got announced like right when we had our podcast.
This is the better animation that came out in this time span.
This was very cute.
Yeah.
This was very cute. I was glad to get something long form. I'm very glad it wasn't like a TikTok style video. And just had I guess kind of extended on the character development that happened throughout Chao Tales, where Shadow Tales and Shadow Chao and Sonic Chao are friends now, and Shadow Chao has to help Sonic Chao win and beat this really talented, very physically fit Chao that is also kind of rude and lazy.
I do love the slacker Chao, who somehow is just incredibly fast and is a tripping hazard. Like that is his most iconic quality is that nobody notices him. They just trip over him. Like he's just there. He doesn't care.
And the heroes have to cheat to beat him, which I'm sure that's a fine lesson.
Yeah. No, they won through the power of friendship. Shadow Chao gave up his own ego in order to push Sonic Chao ahead to the finish line.
A Shadow could learn a thing or two from his Chao counterpart.
Sure.
Chigs, did you watch it?
Yeah, it was very cute.
Okay.
I don't have too much to say about it. Otherwise, there's awesome little animation. I did prefer this one over some of the earlier ones they did this year.
Well, yeah, like this one was longer, so that was nice. That's like probably one of its better qualities. They just had more time to do stuff.
Yeah.
So okay. So moving on to what might be another animated short. Maybe not. Could be something else entirely.
I did not report on this because it's not news until it's actually news. It's not news yet. It'll be news someday, but it's not news.
It's news.
No, it's not.
Teasing is news.
No, it's
I'm
not.
Sorry, Shig GX, but it is.
No, it's not news.
But
it's not news.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
In any
I think you
case,
also have to go in remembering that Law is basically their kind of mascot.
Yeah.
That
So
doesn't
like
necessarily mean that anything's going on. They just use her a lot.
Well,
Marza has been tweeting parts of a Law render and saying something's happening on Halloween.
no,
Who is
no,
this?
they're
Who
not
does
saying.
this tale belong
Hold
to?
on, they're not saying something's happening on Halloween. They're saying the number of days to Halloween, and then they are showing off pieces of a new render. So, likely speaking, it does seem like they're counting down to something that they are doing as a project. Now, they're also doing an art contest, which they are showing stuff off for, but that's something that they also did, last year as well.
Yeah. Now, getting my hopes up 1,000,000,000% and talking nonsense, I do feel like that render looks low quality enough to be like a video game model, but it probably isn't.
No, you're not. No, that's not what's happening here.
Hey, she could be popping up in some mobile game. You don't know.
No, that's not what's happening. They're not. No, it's.
Comes the Sonic Forces Mobile.
This is Marza staff. This is like this isn't even the Marza core account. This is like the Marza staff account. It's like their secondary Twitter account. So it's like it's probably going to be some sort of short or animated thing or some sort of official piece of art. I highly doubt it's going to be, hey, we are branching this character out, because nobody outside of the biggest freaking Sonic weirdos or animation weirdos care. Like,
we did get a new animated short with her a couple years ago.
I think it was last year, wasn't it?
2023.
Okay, it's 2 years back. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's I
can see it being that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they're an animation studio. They're probably going to be putting together small shorts. I think they had recently put together, I don't know if it was a full animated movie or part of one, but I know they had a somewhat recent release. But yeah, I mean, I'm expecting something out of this. I just don't think that, like, no, they're not cross promoting. No people, no, this character doesn't get to go into
Law
CrossWorlds.
comes to CrossWorlds.
No, she's not coming to CrossWorlds. Sega, there's no reason for her to. Like, she's not really part of the Sonic series. She has one Sonic short that existed at one point that they still show for some reason in some very small theaters. But, like, no,
4D
she's not a
theaters.
Sonic character.
It's in Niagara Falls. There's a little area where you can watch the Night of the Werewolf in 4D.
So I think the movie you might be thinking of is Lupin the Third.
No, there's something.
They did
more
work on that.
They
did work on. Well, the only thing more recent is Sonic 3.
No, they have some other project that they recently did. It just, I don't think it got released in the U.S.
Okay. Well, they did lighting on Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Apparently,
they did do that.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what exactly it is, but they did do movie work. Like, they have somewhat recently done movie work this year, for a May release. I have no clue what the property is. It looks like a bunch of animals in a very cute style. But they did have a movie release this year. So
moving on, Iizuka hints at future potential character-centric years, which
sure.
Wait. Oh, right. So the rest I don't need to say right now. So yeah, so like apparently, so he hinted at, like, they could do more things like Fearless Year of Shadow to highlight other characters in the future, which I do personally think would be cool. Like, that is certainly one way to expand the Sonic brand, especially since the individual characters don't yet have the star power of, like, like Mario's spin-off characters, and the only way it really changes is to expose people to them. I know that Sonic City did a thing where it's like, look, you want to do the year of Metal Sonic or the uninteresting year of Amy? And
people aren't able to differentiate between two logos.
I got a whole bunch of people pissed at us. And it's like when Dread was all like, "Oh, the spectacular year of Amy or whatever," it's like, "Oh, you're going back on what you said before, huh? It's a good thing. See, we bullied you into that." It's like,
Listen,
no,
listen,
a different
assholes.
site.
You don't even know what account you're talking to.
But
This
like,
is why I'm on Blue Sky, because all of the smart people are over on Blue Sky. They moved away from Twitter.
oh, I wish that were true. I wish that were true. Um, but moving on. So like personally, like I could go for a crazy year of Chaotix. Like I always boost the Chaotix on here. I think they'd be the most interesting characters to do something for. Not the most marketable, I will admit, but they are basically my favorites. Like
Look,
I mean, I guess also like a gnarly year of Knuckles would be cool.
look, I am going to push for Amy because I think that the series, generally speaking, outside of the comics, has done a poor job with female
Amy
characters,
probably has the most potential.
and I think it is worthwhile to highlight more female characters in the series because they over highlight the male characters and have for years, and Amy has by and large we've talked about this before.
She's gotten better.
The 2000s and 2010s did real dirty to Amy. Like real bad. Especially
Sonic
the
X Amy
2000s.
was just terrible.
Don't tell that to a 2000s Amy fan.
I don't care. They're wrong.
They will bite your head off.
And Sonic Heroes Amy was absolutely
But yeah, it's like man, that did do real damage to her, and it really does kind of feel like she's a much more well-rounded character now, especially in the latest Chaotix comic, where we got a little bit more of her old Amy back, but they left behind all of the old
they can
bad baggage.
contextualize it better. Like there's room
Yes.
for more nuance to her as a character, and not an insane and not like an angry, insane, terrible anime trope.
Yeah, and
they're
it's like
even retconning her old character to make her more of a person who's loving to everyone and not just crazy over Sonic.
yes, man, people hate that too. But yeah, it's like for me, these changes are just necessary in a post Me Too world where it's like, oh right,
Yeah, you know what else it's necessary?
Kind of creepy, ain't it?
You know what else it's necessary for? The movie that's coming out.
Yes.
That's my motivation for this. Is if they're going to release a movie, you know what would be a good opportunity to highlight this character for the movie.
And
Here's
it's
the
like
problem though. She came out in 92, correct?
Yeah. Well, 93.
So you'd want to save that for her 35th anniversry over her 34th.
I don't think that matters as much as the movie.
That matters. Like Fearless Year of Shadow, that did not happen on Shadow's 20th anniversary.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, just tie it into the movie. Like, it's fine. And it's like, and one reason why I think it would work now in a way it probably couldn't have worked in the past is that, like, now Amy's basically just a Sonic clone in terms of her gameplay. And it's like, they could, like, add stuff to her. Like maybe some hammer moves to kind of accommodate, to kind of like, add to like her Sonic based move set. And so they can make something that's kind of Sonic-y, but also maybe emphasize combat or her hammer for platforming or something like that. So like there's certainly like things that do gameplay wise.
I have a pitch.
Yeah.
Continue to piss people off and make her tarot cards a pivotal part of all future movesets.
I mean, you know what? I think it's weird how Sonic Frontiers used her tarot cards, but those would work really well as just like a projectile.
Look, no, I want her full General Grievous wheel cycle with her cards.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, sure, we can have that.
Perfect.
But like, yeah, Amy would be cool. Like in terms of most marketable, it actually would still probably be Amy because she's gonna be in the next big movie. But outside of her, like Knuckles and Tails probably do make the most sense. And Like you could probably build out interesting, different games for them if you really wanted to.
I mean, we need to
Like,
figure out what's happening with those two along the lines. Like, Tails at least has his own sort of marketing line. Like, he is the core star of their Tails Tube whole thing. So, like, he does get a budget already. But, like, I think my mind still goes to, like, well, they need to figure out what happens, or they need to at least start hinting at what does the post-Frontiers world look like? Like, what does the franchise look like after a Frontiers? Because they wrote some checks with Frontiers that they need to cash.
Well, hopefully we'll find out with Frontiers too. So, Shigs, are there any particular years you want to see?
I don't know. I think the year of Amy is pretty much on the nose. The year of Metal Sonic as well, because they gotta hype him up as the main villain.
I really don't care about Metal Sonic.
I like Metal Sonic a lot. Metal Sonic is one of my favorite Sonic villains. I don't think he needs a year to celebrate him. Metal Sonic has never gone away. Like, he went away, and once Heroes came and went, like, they, especially recently, Metal Sonic continues to be a driving force in the series.
Metal Sonic at this point is just like he's just the jobber. He's Ed Mang's professional jobber.
You need that. You know what? In a series where you need more antagonists, sometimes you need that. You need someone to be quiet and intense and intimidating.
Like, you're a Blaze, although I don't think that'll ever happen.
Oh God, yes, I could go for that. Like, she has her own
that's just global
planet
warming.
You can set a whole game on. like my vision for Sonic Unleashed remasters, make a parallel campaign that takes place on Blaze's world, and just like make a game where like Blaze is the speed character and like Silver or someone else.
Werehog Silver.
Werehog.
Werehog Silver. Perfect. Oh, that would be so stupid.
Telekinesis.
That'd be so bad.
Or they could just outright do Werehog Silver. I hadn't considered that.
That'd be so bad. It'd be so bad. It'd be terrible.
But it'd be fun, maybe. At least the Blaze Parks.
I would laugh at it. That would be true. Like, it would be more than I would do to the Werehog. Is I would laugh if they decided to make Silver a Werehog for an expansion to some remake that shouldn't exist for Sonic Unleashed.
I am so glad that none of us said Year of Silver. It means we still got it. Because, man, so many people want that.
Hey, what if it's Sonic 4, if they are adapting CD and there's time travel, that they'll add Silver just because there's a time travel thing?
Oh, I am at least half expecting some degree of, if there is time travel or something, that Silver will be involved or included. I'm just not like, you know what? They need to prove that Silver needs to be back in order for him to have a year. Like, he doesn't need it because he's not a character in the same way as everyone else is yet. Like, the people...
Yeah, it's like, his big game was Sonic 06. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. He needs another shot in a Sonic game.
The people who want Silver to be highlighted are the same people who believe that characters in the Sonic franchise are plates to be spun and get their, that everyone gets their day at some point. Like, it's not... That's not how you manage a franchise, people. It just isn't.
Like, Silver could have a lot of potential in a Sonic game plot, but they need to actually like show that first. So, like, I don't know, have him be in the next Sonic Frontier sequel.
Yeah.
Like, and if that's good, if he's cool, then yeah, all right, maybe now we can start talking Silver campaign. I don't know.
Even the comics have improved his image a bit, but like, he's still a second, third, fourth tier character in that. Like,
you're never gonna get the year of Chocolate Chao.
There we go.
The year of vanilla.
There we go. No, I'm all here for the year of Chocola. We need to highlight this character. This is the character.
What about the year of Johnny?
I'd take the year of Johnny. No, I would prefer the year of Captain Whisker. Year of Captain Whisker, I think, has strong potential.
The year of Chris Thorndike.
Oh God.
Oh God. No one likes Chris Thorndike.
We're bringing
aside
him
from
back.
people who
He's
love
an
Sonic
animal now.
X.
Not even his parents. That's why they never around.
I like how that's like the one Sonic character Ian Flynn just loathes.
He's a bad character. Like there's nothing redeeming about him as a character. He is deeply uninteresting.
So, moving on. Quick thing, 35th anniversary stuff's continued to leak out. Chilean sticker album showed off the color version of the anniversary logo, which is Sonic's head over a Chaos Emerald, which is this the first time we've had a Chaos Emerald in an anniversary logo?
I
feel
don't
like
know.
it's always been rings.
Hold on. I need to look something up real quick.
All right, you're gonna look it up. But like, given how much of this 35th anniversary stuff is leaking out, it really does kind of feel like we're going to hit the ground running in January with this. This is not going to be one of those things where they roll it out in like April or May. No, this is going to be January stuff.
Okay. Good. So good news here. Good news. According to no less a source than brides.com, under their list of anniversary gifts by year, 35th anniversary, the traditional gift is coral. The modern gift is jade. But the metal or gemstone is, in fact, emerald.
Okay, that's not what we were.
There.
That's not the question I asked.
Well, I mean,
but I guess it's good to know.
I mean, the 30th anniversary, we certainly celebrated it with pearls for Sonic. Like that was how we went. Like
sure.
When we got to the 25th, we were celebrating it with Silver, and we introduced the new character, Silver the Hedgehog. It was probably more than 10 years ago, but just go with me on this. And then 20th was again Emerald. 15th was Ruby. 10th was Diamond. And we all remember the 9th anniversary where we celebrated with Lapis Lazuli, obviously.
In any case, 10th anniversary ring, 15th anniversary ring and Sonic spines, 20th anniversary the Sonic 1 title screen ribbon thingy and stars. Next one, also Sonic Run ribbon thingy, but also the ring that goes around that with the stars and the wings. And 30th is just Sonic Run, and the 0 is his legs going in a circle. So yeah, first time we've had Chaos Emeralds. So that's neat.
I'm just glad that we're finally recognizing the 5th anniversary of Sonic's 30th anniversary.
Sure.
Let's all celebrate by making more blue curry.
So moving on to the Sonic toys. Burger King is apparently making Sonic toys, and they're set to come out on November 4th.
Cool.
Which I guess means that they're.
Do they look interesting in any way? I will answer this question and say no.
No, I mean
they're just the characters standing.
Cool.
It's something I would have played with when I was 8, but like I wouldn't say they're especially interesting. And Amy's colors are off.
If you go to either like Dollar Tree, you can get these blind bag boxes of little Sonic figures, or you can get the same ones in a blister card at grocery outlet for like $2-3, and they are far more detailed than this crud we're getting from Burger King.
I hope.
But to be fair, these come free in a cake meal. So.
Yeah, but I have no intention of going out of my way to get any of these.
I probably will.
I hope that we get the full marketing routine with that. They gave us the. They gave us the, or was it Wednesday? Wendy's gave us the Wednesday tie-in. Burger King gave us, I think, some other time. I want a blue burger bun. Give me a blue burger bun. That's what we need.
I'm pretty sure these are just some Sonic toys whipped up real quick to.
I am also certain of that, but I want the blue burger bun. I want them to sell me or Or have Burger King suddenly sell hot dogs.
The only thing I'm wondering is whether or not we're going to get
Dogs.
Sonic Rumble like stuff on like the King's Meal box or whatever,
Maybe.
or if it's just going to be a generic Sonic stuff.
Maybe. Do you
If
think
they actually included codes, that would be worth it.
Like the timing feels like it's meant to be Sonic Rumble, but I don't know.
yeah, it's a reasonable thing, but like also what is the timing for Sonic Rumble? Like Sonic Rumble exists out of space and time as we conceptualize it.
Okay. So, moving on to our final discussion topic, the Chaotix 30th anniversary comic. And this one was written by Daniel Barnes, the same guy who did Scrapnik. Tracy Yardley from the Ian Flynn era Archie comics handled the like kind of the between scenes, and then we had other artists handle the flashback scenes as the Chaotix like told Sonic and Amy their story of their very first case, which this comic takes place during the 1-year anniversary of that case.
I think we can attribute more significant things to Tracy Yardley's legacy with the Sonic franchise.
I mean, like him teaming up with Ian Flynn for a good chunk of Archie Sonic was a pretty big part of it. I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking, okay, never mind. It's fine. Go.
You were thinking what? What else has
no,
he,
don't
has
worry
he,
about
has
it.
he done that I should?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But
go
ahead. I was gonna say I really enjoyed the different arts, the contrasting art styles depending on who was telling the story. I mean, we got Vector who's basically doing like film noir / Sin City, very Sin City because it's just pure black or white, no gray area stuff, and Espio's is more like a Japanese manga because he's telling his little ninja tale, and then we got Charmy who's got of course slightly more childish drawings and done in crayon.
Significantly more childish drawings.
Yeah,
and writing.
Actually, still pretty good art for a child as far as artistic.
So like I really enjoyed the writing in this. It was a very fun little story. I was less of a fan of the Sin City art style because I had a lot of trouble making out a lot of the shapes and what they were supposed to be at points. And I don't know if that's also an issue I'd have with Sin City. Because
you kind of would.
Because like the closest I've gotten to that is like I've seen the bits from the movie, and also I remember Spin City, the Archie Sonic game that also the Archie Sonic comic that also parodied Sin City. Although I think that was much more of just a outright black and white comic than this, where it was just like using black and white shapes to.
Wait, are we talking about the noir, the weird other dimensional noir episode of the Archie comic?
I did reference that. Yes,
the one that has, and I want to highlight this so that people understand it. The one that had the Lost in Space robot, I believe R2D2, Tom Servo, and Crow T Robot of MST3K fame, like that insane issue that makes no sense why it exists.
Yeah, that Sonic has done 2 Sin City spoofs at this point, and that was one of them.
I mean, what? I mean, it's just I don't know if it's Sin City specifically. It's definitely
it's called Spin City, and it's a noir detective story. It was very clearly a Sin City spoof. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Alex on that one.
Like, it's not even something I understood at the time. But once I made the connection, I was like, oh, right. I was too young for that comic at the time. In any case, though, back to Chaotix. So let's go over the premise real quick. So Amy is taking Sonic on a tour of the museum, the Smithsonian Museum. And she stayed up all night studying for all of the not artifacts,
attractions.
Exhibits.
Exhibit. Thank you.
Exhibits.
All the exhibits, so that she could
Just to
intelligently
impress Chaotix,
describe all of
basically.
them to Sonic. And Sonic's all like, "Ooh, that's interesting." He's just having a good time. And then, like, they immediately meet Vector, and he tells them, "Hey, we're here just celebrating our 1-year anniversary of our very first case." And then he breaks into this very inspired noir-styled telling of, like, the first part of his case. And in terms of writing, this is probably my favorite, because Daniel Barnes, through Vector, just absolutely nails the noir detective vibe with him. And it's like, it's still clearly Vector, so it's still kind of dumb, still a little forced in the way you expect it to be, where it's like he's trying to be that tough noir detective, but he's also Vector. And like during that we get the first part of the plot, which is, hey, this thief left this calling card, and we need the Chaotix to essentially act as security to try to catch the thief. Like, it's not really a detective type thing. Like, they're basically just, like, I don't know, acting as armed security. But regardless, like, so they need to, like, stay in the museum and try to catch whoever the thief is. And then we go back present day. Sonic and Amy move on. They meet up with Espio. He gives his more, like, ninja manga inspired thing, where the thing I like most about him is that he gives the most divorced narration from what's actually happening in the panels. Where it's like, this guy really is kind of an incompetent ninja and a total weeb, and that is what I love about him. But this is when he encounters the thief, who is like, it has this really awesome design. Shigs, what was their name?
I can't quite remember.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
I
bring
don't
that
have my
up
comic
then.
with me.
I was hoping that you remember, because I don't remember. But it's like this cool, like Anubis Egyptian themed jackal type thing. Just really awesome design. Um, let's see. I'm bringing it up now. Come on. Okay. Uh, uh, Come on, move. There we are. Uh, Man, what was he called? Oh, yes. Enigma. And the calling card is the Shadows Lay claim. So yeah, so like SPO has this big fight with Enigma, gets his butt kicked, and that's where his part of the story ends. And then Sonic and Amy move on again. Then they meet up with Charmy, who is just playing hide and seek. There's no idea what's going on, of course, because he's Charmy. And and then there's the Chaotix show up, and then Charmy gives his very, very childlike, borderline inaccurate retelling. Like the other Chaotix have to constantly step in to correct him on name pronunciation and stuff. I love how Daniel Barnes writes Charmy, because he really does feel like an energetic 6-year-old. um and it basically turns out, like, hey, actually, it turns out everything in the museum is stuff stolen by the big rich guy who initially called them, um who runs the museum, who's like this kind of this bossy eagle. And he gets shaped, and he gets tricked into revealing his entire plot over an announcer intercom. That Charmy just kind of presses the button of while he's admitting to his crimes, and he gets chased out and arrested. And just the whole way that is written is just so adorable and so well done. I really got to give Barnes props for that. And then at the very end, it turns out that the Enigma was like was like the lady who contacted them at the very start of the story. And Vector knows that, and is like, throws her calling card, and she is now set up as like an ongoing villain for the Chaotix in the future.
Yeah, a little
And
rival.
yeah, like I basically called that immediately. Like the moment I saw her, I remembered the shape of the of Enigma from the cover. I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, she is definitely the thief. Um, so like, as a mystery, this doesn't really work. But like, it's just a fun, chaotic adventure. It works extremely well. And my only real issue with it is that because of how it's divided up between the different retellings and the framing device, the whole thing feels a little bit skinny, a little bit brief. It's like one of the covers like has these characters that are like students. Um, that makes it seem like there's going to be like a little more to the story than there ends up being, because it's like it's just like the Chaotix kind of
Yeah, those end up being background characters, the characters
yeah.
on the cover.
The story is basically just the Chaotix being brought in, trying to catch a thief and accidentally catching a different thief. And it works. It's very fun. I just kind of find myself wishing it were a little longer. Like this would make a great subject for like 4-part miniseries or something. So Shigs, I kind of
I thought it was a
talked over a
decent
lot
length.
of that.
I thought it was a decent length to be honest. I mean, you can't
I
get
mean,
too much
35
out of the story.
pages. So it's like it wasn't short, but it just feels like between the premise and like the characters, I really feel like they could have done a lot more to flesh things out.
Right.
But they had one shot, and I think Barnes did good for the space he had. So Shigs, I kind of talked over a
Yeah,
lot
like I
of
said,
that. So
sometimes you got to just work with the amount of space you have.
yeah.
Like
So
like
Shigs,
when you had me working on
Gary
the
Cowboy, yeah.
Sonic eggs and such.
Oh yeah, Sonic
I only
Eggs.
had so many pages I could do, like that Christmas special. I had to really organize that well. So sometimes you just got to work with the amount of space you have. But I did like it. I mean, and plus you got a little, a bit with Amy where she's just getting frustrated because she just wants to
Yeah, I gloss
be on
over
this
all of
nice
Amy's
little
stuff.
casual date thing with Sonic, just touring the museums and trying to impress him.
Yeah, like Amy
Yeah.
basically connived this whole situation so that she could just show off her intelligence to Sonic, and the Chaotix just completely interrupted that constantly. And like towards the end, like everyone acknowledges, okay, we're kind of stepping in on Amy's thing. We'll back off. Like Amy doesn't get all 2000s where she whacks Vector with a hammer or something. It's just
No.
like, okay, yeah, we'll let you get on with your thing now. um so that was nice. Like we got a little injection of 2000s Amy without it overwhelming her current better characterization, which I
Right.
think is the right mix. So Shakes, what else you have to say about all this?
That's about it. I mean,
Oh, come
I enjoyed it
on!
quite a bit.
I know we talked a lot, but I was just trying to like
Well,
make clear what the plot is. You can talk more about your opinion.
I like how each thing of art went into each character's personality whenever they
Yeah.
were telling their story. And I
Like
love the kind of nerdy design of the one, actual thief. How she's kind of this
yeah.
nerdy looking secretary, but it's all just fake. Really, really good character design, I think, overall for both that and the Enigma guy
Makes
for
me
the
really want to see this
Iizuka.
character again.
Yeah, and I could see them using them with Jewel the Beetle would be because they're both curators, so that could be an
And
interesting little twist.
frankly, also I also like Valdez's design, the evil the eagle the eagle museum owner who ended up like
Yeah,
turned out that basically his whole scheme was he would go out and steal stuff that people wouldn't donate to his museum so that he could put it on display. Like this feels like a very kind of obvious spoof of the British museums.
I was about to say that it was basically he was being the British.
Where it's
No offense
like
to the British, because I know it's the Sonic Stadium, but probably get quite a few listeners.
like when Jeremy is explaining his motivations, it's like, and you won't take care of it anyway, which is what the British Museum says. Like they won't let the Greeks have their own stuff back because the Greeks won't take care of it. um, so like yeah. Uh, Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right. Well, I guess in that case, we're done. This was Sonic Talk. GX, you know how to do our outro. Why don't you go do that?
Hey, our opinions are our own, but the show broadly is under the umbrella of Sonic Stadium over at sonicstadium.org, one of the internet's longest running Sonic fan communities. You can check these news stories out over there. If you're watching on YouTube, there are links in the comments to every one of our stories that we discussed if we wrote it up. If not, we might have some discussions linked, etc., etc., etc. You can catch more streams, including one coming up tomorrow, live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sonic Stadium. We've got our Halloween special of Sega Sonic Radio. You still have a little, if you're watching this live right now or catching the VOD very early, then you can submit a request to the Halloween episode. It's coming up quick. It's a special Thursday episode.
I wonder if they're going to play Pumpkin Hill.
We might we might do that. It might have been requested twice so far. It almost got requested 3 times until I told Reef no. Or no, actually I didn't tell him no. I said you can do it, but like just know, hey, because I know it was gonna happen. Like it happens every year. Like there's some creative choices whenever I set out a theme, and then there's some that are like, I'm going to choose the one that is the most obvious one, and that
I'm
is
still
the most
trying to think of
obvious one.
mine. Like I don't know, I think I settled on on something from House of the Dead, but I guess haven't gotten around.
I don't
to,
have
like,
a lot of House of the Dead
yet.
music. I'm gonna tell you that right now, and I'm probably not gonna have enough time to add new albums. So
I thought you had House of the Dead too. I'll have to check.
I'll check. I have something. I have the Pinball of the Dead or something like that. But
well, in any case, I guess maybe I'll make it a point to get something in the near future then.
yeah,
Just to get House of the Dead in there.
or just choose a Sonic song. That would make my life easier.
Nah, because looks like you got the Mansion one, you got the Pumpkin one.
Aside from one person who always seems to choose something that I never seem to have on hand and just is a nightmare to try to track down. This week is almost all Sonic stuff. Like
nice.
I have made an almost all Sonic Halloween playlist. Look forward to that. So
okay. All right.
Peace, y'all.
Alrighty.
And I'll also stay tuned for some Sonic Rumble coverage because I will be getting footage of that and maybe a stream. We'll see.
Catch you tomorrow. Happy Halloween. Happy Sonic Rumble launch event. We'll have discussions of that whenever we meet next.
See you later. I'll finally get to play it.
Yay.